More concerns and questions tonight about a Roanoke Valley football program 2 weeks after a 10 News investigation.
Now the players for South Forest Community Christian are speaking out after the coach resigned. 10 News reporter Alyssa Ray has been digging deeper into this. She joins us in the studio to explain the latest.
Yeah, with the resignation of head coach Pope Mitchell, the future of the program is up in the air. But I spoke to a former assistant coach and player who say even though the season was scrapped, they're still paying the price. It started with a tip about questionable housing for student athletes on the South Forest Community Christian football team. Out-of-state players paying $500 for what they thought were hotel accommodations ended up a personal payment made to the head coach, Pope Mitchell, for them to live in his home.
We sent the money back in May for the housing to be reserved, and ever since then it's just been like the school. He said kept blaming it on the school, saying the school waiting on this, we waiting on that.
Those $500 deposits have not been refunded. But they aren't the only ones who say they were taken advantage of by the SFCC program. How long have you been playing football?
Since the age of 6.
Austin Wilhelm, a wide receiver from Allegheny High School, was originally sold on the idea of playing in college.
I heard that Coach Mitchell was putting it up, trying to get kids around here noticed by the big colleges, not just from Virginia, but all around.
In 2020, he accepted Mitchell's offer to be part of the Bobcats program, and at his request, enrolled in Community Christian College, an online school in California that Mitchell said was affiliated with SFCC. But he saw his first red flag when he applied for financial aid.
They got me to do a FAFSA, and after the FAFSA, they asked me if I was playing sports for them, and I said yes, I'm playing sports for them. So they went ahead and added the athletic fee.
A $1,500 athletic fee that Wilhelm says CCC added to his invoice. Caught off guard, he asked Mitchell what that money went to.
Once you paid that, he's saying like that would be sent to him for the funds for your football helmet, your cleats, your pads and all of that.
Wilhelm says the team never provided any of that. Due to his skepticism surrounding the program, he quit before he even played a game. Yet 2 years later, he says CCC is still calling to collect his tuition and athletic fee from 2020. Even though he stopped taking classes and left the football program.
Altogether, $4,500 that I owe them, and went to a college thinking that I was going to get to play football, but never ended up doing it because I never followed through. Like I said, it just sounded crazy, so I never did it.
Now Wilhelm questions the athletic fee even more because, as we've reported, CCC sent a statement to 10 News denying any affiliation with SFCC, saying there is no partnership, athletic or otherwise, with the entity, corporation, or business located in Roanoke, Virginia. However, it was Community Christian College listed on the contract between the team in Roanoke and an assistant football coach, one who asked to remain anonymous.
The agreement was for me to coach for $6,000 a year for the first year, and we had talks about it going up from there.
That's the stipend he says Mitchell told him he'd be paid. The agreement signed by CCC and reviewed by 10 News reflects the assistant would be paid 2% of the actual tuition amount received by the CCC Financial Aid Department per student and any cash collected for each student. The coach says after being with the team all last season and preseason this year, he hasn't received any money. He tells us every time he asked Mitchell, Mitchell blamed CCC.
Whenever they would tell us like it's going to be this payment on this month, that month come out after, hey, where's the payment? And then eventually they'll say, it's going to burn talks again, it's going to be this month instead. And it's getting pushed back each and every time.
He said after our story exposing the South Forest Community Christian management aired, it confirmed his suspicions that something wasn't right.
But basically the program itself, I believe, is terrible. I believe it's ran very, very terribly. I believe immediately should be shut down.
While the assistant is still frustrated he hasn't been compensated, he feels worse for the players who put their trust in the program.
You're talking about kids' lives here. You're talking about big life decisions. And for you to play with that with people's lives is not right at all.
Since our interview with the assistant coach, it was shut down. Mitchell resigned as head coach and athletic director. We've spoken off camera with players who are still on the team. They tell us they're now being told their point of contact is an athletic director for CCC, raising more questions about their affiliation. We reached out to CCC about our findings. They tell us that contract is made up. We'll have the rest of their response as our investigation continues next week. Live in the studio, Alyssa Ray, 10 News, working for you.